Hello and welcome back. I'm Nikki. This is Off Grid Style. I'm glad to have you here. This is going to be a cool subject to discuss because it's learning how to smoke meat. And smoking meat is a great way to preserve your meat. It doesn't last quite as long as salting or curing your meat, but this one's also a good handy thing to know how to do, especially in shtf situations. So let's find out. Traditional techniques and time-honored ways of smoking meat. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Smoking meat is a time-honored culinary tradition that has been practiced for centuries across many cultures. It is a method of preserving and flavoring meat while creating tender, smoky, and savory results. We will look at 3 methods of smoking meat, using a smokehouse, a tent, and an open fire, and we'll discuss the approximate time required for each. Method 1. Smoking meat in a smokehouse. A smokehouse is a dedicated structure designed for smoking meat, offering better control over temperature and smoke exposure. Here's how you can smoke meat in a smokehouse. The materials needed will include a smokehouse, meat like pork, beef, chicken, or fish, wood chips or chunks, like hickory, oak, or applewood. Whatever seasonings or combinations of seasoning you'd like to use. Now let's move on to the steps for smoking meat in a smokehouse. First, you will prepare the meat. Trim excess fat and season it with your choice of seasonings. Allow the seasoned meat to rest in the refrigerator for several hours or overnight to absorb the flavors. Start a fire in the smokehouse's firebox using hardwood chunks or charcoal. The goal is to create a smoldering fire that generates smoke without high heat. Adjust the airflow and the fire to maintain a temperature inside the smokehouse between 180 and 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Place soaked wood chips or chunks on the hot coals to generate smoke. The type of wood used will influence the flavor of the meat. Hang the seasoned meat on hooks or racks inside the smokehouse. Then close the smokehouse door, ensuring it is properly sealed. Allow the meat to smoke for several hours, typically 4 to 12 hours, depending on the type and the size of the meat. Regularly check the temperature and smoke levels inside the smokehouse. Adjust the fire, airflow, and wood chips as needed to maintain consistent smoking conditions. Method number 2, smoking meat in a tent. Smoking meat in a tent is a more portable and makeshift method suitable for outdoor or shtf situations. And here's how you can do it. The materials you will need include a large tent or tarp, meat, of course, wood chips or twigs, whatever seasonings you'd like to use. Now let's look at the steps. Prepare the meat as you would for smoking in a smokehouse. Set up a large tent or tarp, ensuring it's well ventilated to create the smoking chamber. Start a small, controlled fire outside the tent using wood chips or twigs. Allow the fire to generate smoke without producing too much heat. Place a container of water inside the tent to help regulate the temperature and create a moist environment. Hang the seasoned meat on racks or hooks inside the tent, ensuring there is enough space between the fire and the meat to prevent direct heat exposure. Now close the tent, leaving a small opening for smoke to escape. Regularly check the temperature and smoke levels inside the tent. Adjust the fire and ventilation as needed. Smoking time can vary, but typically ranges from 2 to 8 hours depending on the type of meat. Now let's look at smoking meat over an open fire. Smoking meat over an open fire is a rustic and traditional method and may be your only option in a survival situation. Here's how you can do it. The materials needed for this method are very simple. You will need whatever meat you plan on smoking, wood logs or branches, seasonings if available. Now let's look at the steps to smoke meat over an open fire. Prepare the meat as you would for smoking in a smokehouse or tent. Create a fire pit with stones or logs. Place the wood logs or branches on the fire pit, allowing them to smolder and produce smoke. Place the meat on a grate or improvised rack above the smoldering wood. Adjust the distance between the meat and the fire to control the heat. Remember, the goal is to maintain a low, smoky fire. Hang the meat on racks or use metal or wooden skewers to suspend it above the fire. Ensure that the meat is exposed to the smoke, but not in direct contact with the flames. The smoking time can vary, but usually ranges from 2 to 6 hours. Regularly check the fire, add wood as needed, and adjust the meat's position to ensure even smoking. Whether you have access to a dedicated smokehouse, a tent in the great outdoors, or a simple open fire, each method offers a unique experience. The approximate smoking times provided are guidelines. The actual time may vary based on factors like the type and size of meat, the temperature, and personal preference. Well, I hope you liked the video on smoking meats. And if you have any suggestions, things you do that are different, or ideas that I might have not mentioned or not thought about, I always love to hear from you. You know that, and I always answer back. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, because as I've said, it lets YouTube know, hey, we like this video, so YouTube, show it to more people. And that just gets us more exposure, which I love. And also, I get more comments, which I love, because then I get to answer all of you back. Thank you very much, and have a great day.